Hi, everyone. How are you? Guess what time it is? You know what time it is on Tuesday at 8:30. It's time for the Ruby Girl Talk with your favorite Ruby Girl. Yay! And her favorite guest. Yay, yay. So tonight I am so excited to be doing the Ruby Girl Talk. I have someone that's from Australia. Yeah, Australia. Okay, I said it right. Yes, Miss Angela Bennett. How are you, Miss Angela?
I am so good, Miss Karen. Thank you so much.
I am so happy to have you back on my show. So y'all might not remember Angela, but I'm quite sure you should. Angela was with a host of other co-authors and the author of Queen Esther's Royal Code a few weeks ago. They were all on my show. We had a great time, and so I invited her back to give her a little bit more time because she's such an interesting and fantastic and amazing person. So, Angela, the first thing I want you to do is go on my page, find this video, and share it so that your people can see it also tonight. Because sharing is caring, So that way your family and your friends can see how awesome you're going to be tonight. And here's some of the things that you have to say. But while you do that, I'm going to do my Ruby Girl commercial. So I am K Run. I am the owner His Designs LLC, but my brand is Ruby Girl. It comes from Proverbs 31 and 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above the price of a ruby. That makes you rare, ladies, because you're only one of a kind. I don't care if you have a twin, your spiritual DNA cannot be duplicated. It makes you virtuous, meaning that you have God's standards and you're operating in His standards in your life, and it makes you valuable, meaning that you have value and worth. All God's plans are all up inside you. All the greatness He wants to do in the earth is inside of you. You just have to go to rubygirl.net, connect with me, get you a Ruby Girl t-shirt so you can represent the brand. Don't soldiers wear uniforms? So the Ruby Girl shirt is your uniform to show the world that, hey, I am God's priceless princess. And guess what? I'm wearing the shirt of the month. So every month I'm doing a different Ruby Girl shirt. So this shirt is $40. You said $40. Let me tell you the value of it. It's rare, just like you are. Number two, you get a Ruby Girl story, a story of encouragement, and you get a special surprise. So I'm going to just model for y'all just a little bit. But this is it. It's pink and burgundy. Yes, check it out, y'all. It's pink and burgundy. And the pink is glitter. Y'all know I love sparkly stuff. Y'all know that. I probably should have been a fairy because I love sparkles. So, are you ready, Miss Angela?
So ready. I'm so sorry about that. I'm not great with Facebook, and all I could do was hear you talking, and I didn't know how to turn that off.
Well, you know what? While you introduce yourself, I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna go on Facebook and I'm gonna share it on your page. That'll work.
Yeah.
I got your back. So, Angela, let the audience know who you are.
Yeah, sure. So I am Angela Bennett. Karen, thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm Angela Bennett. I am a four-time international bestseller author, speaker, and transformational coach. And yeah, I get to invest in women's lives and help them transform to become the best, most powerful, liberated versions of themselves. Yay. And I live in Sydney, Australia.
Ah, did you hear that? Repeat it again. Where do you stay at?
I live in Sydney, Australia, honey.
That she said honey. So y'all understand where her beautiful accent is. I totally love. And I hear that Australia is a beautiful place.
So beautiful. We are so blessed. Our oceans, my favorite thing. Our oceans are just amazing.
Wow. So from that amazing place come amazing people. So hey, let's get started. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And if you're watching tonight, share, share, share. Give us some hearts. Y'all know I love hearts because that means that that's love that you're showing me and my guests. And like I said, my guests come to entertain you, to bless you, to share with you the stories that they have, and also the gifts and talents that they have. So once you get off the Ruby Girl show tonight, audience, you should be blessed by what she has to say. Now, Angela, you are one of the co-authors of the Queen Esther's Royal Code, and it's coming out July the 30th. I'm excited about this book. And so this book is about, in case you don't know, Queen Esther in the Bible. Now, your chapter is about preparation. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my chapter is about preparation. My chapter is actually called The Forbidden Fruit. So preparation is, I truly believe that in life things happen to us, and every time something happens to us, we develop new characteristics and new strength and new courage, because the growth process is painful. The crushing process, the pruning process, it's painful. But this is where we grow. This is where we learn to turn more towards God and not doing things in our own strength, but doing things in His, and hanging on to the hope. Hanging on to the hope and the promises that He has for us. Because God is not a man that should lie. And so everything that He says for us and He promises for us, and the purposes and the visions that He gives for us will come to fruition. But we need to be pruned, and I would say crushed like a grape. When you're crushing a grape, the grape goes through the crushing and the fermenting process to become all that it's, the beautiful wine that it's meant to become. And so from that, and from the pruning of the fruit that we grow and we produce more fruit, and we become finer wines, and we become a finer product. And the refining process, it's like a diamond or gold. They go under immense pressure and intense heat to become these beautiful, priceless, precious diamonds and priceless metals. And that's what God does to us through this whole process of preparation. Because without that preparation, just turning my phone off, without that preparation process, we can't refine the gifts that God has given us to fulfill the promises that He's given to us and the unique purpose. Oh, that was a long-winded answer.
It was a perfect answer. So this is what I got out of it. I'm be a student tonight. So this is what you taught me so far, Miss Angela. Pruning is part of the process of preparation. And we don't understand that when God is preparing us for something, we think God is all glory and glitter, but He's not. We find our strengths in the things that we overcome and the trials that we go through. And like you said, just like grapes are crushed, when you crush a grape, you get more out of it because it's been holding something. And so that juice squirts out. And that's the good part for me, the juice part. And from that juice, they make wine. Am I right? From grapes? Well, fermented wine. They do make fermented wine, I think, from grapes. Don't y'all go Googling me now. I said, I think. Okay. But you're right. It's in that crushing that it's some stuff that comes out of you. It's some good stuff and it's some bad stuff, because you'll realize, I never thought I could go through that and come out with my mind intact. But I went through it. I went through the crushing, and now I'm stronger than I am before. And then you go through it not for you, but for others that's around you. Pain is not personal. We take it personal when we're going through pain. Pain is really a teacher, a preparer of what God wants to bring out of us. And so we look at pain like, oh God, I'm going through. I don't know if I can make it. You can make it. He wouldn't put you through it unless He knew you could go through it. And He only gives us enough that we can bear. He's not cruel to where He's like, like shocking us to the point that we can't take it anymore. He knows exactly how much pressure to apply. Woo! I learned that from you.
The thing about that too is, once a grape is crushed, it can't go back to its original form. So when we go through this process, we can't go back to what we were once before. Why would you want to anyway? There's so much more beauty that comes out of us, and just pricelessness in the process that God takes us through.
That is good. Once we're crushed, that you're right, that grape can never be the same again. And so once God starts the preparation, starts crushing us and pressuring us, we're never the same. It's parts of us that die, and then there's parts of us that come alive. Courage comes out of being pressed because you're either going to stand or you fall. And think about it, soldiers don't have an easy life. They go to war with the intent of fighting and being prepared for the fight. And that's how we have to be. We are God's soldiers. We have to be prepared to fight in this world. It is what it is. It's like if you live in a bad neighborhood and every day you're going to have to fight when you come home from school because somebody's going to challenge you. Every day the enemy challenges us. We can either bow down or we can stand up and say no more. Great. That is great. And if you think about Queen Esther, she had a lot of preparation in her life. Before she saw the king, she had to go through preparation. Before she even presented to the king her petition, she did preparation. The dinner had to be set. She had to have the people fasting and praying. So she was all about preparation. And if you look in your life, there is some key thing that you're all about. So I want you to tell us 2 times that preparation was beneficial to Queen Esther's success. I don't know if I just gave the answer away, but you might have something different.
I guess the most prevalent time when she had to be prepared was when she had to save her nation. I mean, she had gone through such the process of beautifying herself and purifying herself and learning about the king. But then the time came when, yes, all of that mattered, but she had to approach the king, even though he hadn't spoken to her for, I think, 30 days from memory. And she wasn't allowed to approach the king. She had to wait to be called. But she was prepared to die for her community. She was prepared to risk her life. And I don't know how many, what you've been through to prepare for whatever it is that God's got in store for you, but I don't know if I'd be prepared to give my life. I don't know. But she did, and it wasn't just for one or two people, it was for her whole nation, her whole community. And so that would have taken so much courage, and the fasting and the praying and approaching the king. Can you imagine the preparedness that she would have to go through within her heart, and that faith and that trust that she would have had to have in God to have taken that step, that courageous step? Like, I can't imagine what that must have been like for her. You could have had her beheaded.
Yes.
To do that. Yeah.
And then if you think about Queen Vashti, think about her. He had her removed because she didn't come when he wanted her to come. So she already knew that the king, he didn't care about getting another queen. And she hadn't even really been an established queen to where she had favor with him and where she knew how to wrap him around her finger and everything. So everything was faith with her. But God had to be preparing her. I just believe if we could just go back in her childhood, we will see instances of how God prepared her for such a time as this, that it was probably some things that she had to go through. The fact that she didn't have parents, that had to be, I personally, as I know, that right there, that's a trial within itself. Because you grow up not having your parents to identify with. And it doesn't matter how good somebody take care of you, how much they love you, you still desire your parents, your own parents. And I'm sure Mordecai had to be the best parent that he possibly could, co-parent that he could to her. But still, she had to go through some stuff. And now she gets in the kingdom. And you know how you get into a place And my audience, you might relate. When you finally get into a place, a job, a place that you live, a relationship, and you think everything is good. Finally, I'm married. I don't have to worry about this dating stuff. And then you find out it's some issues in your marriage. Woo, finally, I moved to the good neighborhood. And then you get there and your neighbor upstairs walk like they have lead on their feet. So you get to a place where you think, whoo, but it's not really whoo. It's God has a purpose for you being there. He might have put you in that troubled marriage so you can be an intercessor for that man or that woman. You never know. God has purpose for everything. We be thinking like, oh, I'm in love. I got this person. And God is like, baby, you about to intercede for this person. You about to pray. I'll pray these demons off this person, cast it off. You about to cover their sins with a multitude of love. So we never know God's purpose. We never know what he has prepared us for. But the key is, your audience, is be prepared for your next. What they say is better, like when they say God, it's better to have him and not need him. It's better to be prepared than an opportunity to come and you're not prepared for it. And as entrepreneurs, Angela, I know you can relate because you're an entrepreneur too. You're an entrepreneur, you're a coach, you're an author, and you are a motivational speaker. So you have a lot to prepare for. Am I right?
Yes, honey, you're right. You are right.
So,
Sorry, you go.
oh, you go ahead.
I just feel like life is just a journey of preparation. We're always preparing for the next thing that's about to fall into our path. It's never, I mean, I guess we don't have to continue to grow. It's a choice. But if you are prepared to do the growth and you're prepared to do the work, it's never an easy process, but it's so worth it at the end.
Yes, I agree. Now, let's pretend for a moment. If you had been Queen Esther, and let me stop for a minute for those who might not be quite familiar with Queen Esther. So, Queen Esther, she replaced the queen, Queen Vashti or Vashti, as some people called her, because the king was having a celebration. He was showing off everything. He wanted to show her off, and she refused to come. And so his men counseled him, his wise men, and said, look, if you let her get away with that, every woman gonna think they can do that to their husband. And so he had to basically banish her from ever coming before him. And then he looked for a new queen. And so Esther became the new queen, but she had to go through so many days of preparation, smelling good, probably learning the culture, how to approach the king, how to speak, just a lot of training. And it was other women also, but she ended up being chosen as the queen. And so she hadn't been before her king in like about 30 days, but her nation was in trouble. She was a Jew and her husband did not know that. And so it was a Haman, I'll call him Haman. I always call him Haman. I don't know if it's the right pronunciation, but Haman. He had tricked the king into giving a decree to kill the Jews. And so her cousin came to her, Mordecai, and said, basically, look, you're probably sent here for such a time as this. You know, you think you're safe in that castle, in the castle, because you're a queen. But what if he find out and then he kind of like take it out on you? I'm paraphrasing. And so she made up her mind to go before the king. And she said, if I perish, I perish. What courage she was. So now, if you had been Queen Esther, Angela, how would you have handled things differently?
Girl, I don't know if I would have had the courage to do that, to approach the king. I really don't know. That would have just been, like you said, she said, if I perish, I perish. So she was prepared to die. Um, I know I should have a really great answer for this, but I just don't. The fact that she got her people to fast and pray for her was just such a beautiful thing. I mean, she had that community supporting her. And other than that, I don't know how else I would have prepared for it. I don't know how I would have approached him other than the faith in God. It's just, we are put in our lives in a particular place for a purpose. And it is up to us whether we choose to do that or not, because God will not force himself on us. He will not force his will on us. He gives us, you know, the desire to do something, but whether we go ahead to do that with that desire and with that plan is completely up to us. But as with Queen Esther, if she didn't do it, God would have raised someone else up to do it. So I guess I would have just had to make that choice. Am I prepared to do this or not? Am I prepared to die? Am I prepared to approach the king? Because I do believe that they really did care about and love each other in the end, because she got to spend time with him. They got to know each other. They ended up, there was confusion in their relationship, and which caused distance and a wedge. But I believe they did care for each other. So I think she had that in her favor. The fact that she was so interested in finding out what the king liked before she approached him, over adorning herself with jewels and fine gems like the other women did. She was more concerned about his heart and how to win his favor. And so without that, I don't know how it would have worked out for her. But yeah, the fact that she just had those praying and supporting and fasting for her was just such a huge element of her being able to be successful in this plan. And plus it was God's, all along it was God's plan.
Mhm.
But she had to take that courage. She had to take that step to actually go ahead with it at the cost of her life,
Yeah.
possibly.
I like her strategy because sometimes you got to know how to approach your man. You just can't be blunt with him.
Yeah.
You have to kind of set the setting that you want. Like I had thought when I was first ever read the story that she was just going to go in and give him her petition. And I was like, why is she delaying this? Just tell the man what you want. But that wasn't it. Everything was strategic in what God had her to do, because he needed Haman to make that hanging, that I would say hanging machine or whatever he was going to do. So he was going to hang Mordecai. God needed that built. He needed time for stuff to process, be set just right. And if she had rushed stuff, if she had delayed stuff, it wouldn't have just fell right in place. So that tells us we have to move in God's timing and not our own timing. God had to give her instructions during that prayer and that fasting of what to do. Like I said, a writer don't let us get too in depth into what was going on in Queen Esther's mind, and if God spoke to her and said this. And so we have to assume some things, but I'm quite sure she was God led. You have to be God led to be able to give your life for people that you really don't know when you're in a good place. Well, what happens to them might not even affect you. She could have went on. Mordecai would have been wiped out. All the Jews, nobody would have known that she was a Jew but her. But trust me, there was somebody that would have ratted her out. It's all out. It's always like Moses. When Moses killed that man and buried him, the Egyptian thought nobody knew. And then the one was like, oh, you gonna kill us like that Egyptian? Somebody always know when you do some dirt, or when somebody always knows something about you. So it's always good to come clean before God and come clean, period. So, Angela, thank you. So now we're about to go on a 60-second break. So while you're going to give us a pitch, you can say anything you want to, but I want you to put your contact information in there. And while you do that, I'm going to go look on social media, see what everybody is saying about us. And then while you do the pitch, I just want you to blow our minds. Go, girl.
Oh, thank you, Karon. So my contact information is at Linktree _transformations. And I just want to say that whatever you're going through in your life, God has a purpose for you. He has a plan. And just put your faith in him, rest in him. I'm going through a season of resting, and it is so beautiful. And there's a beautiful song that I've been listening to, and it says, "Come away with me, my love." And it's just been such a time of rest and coming away with God and restoration. My heart has been completely cracked wide open, and there's been an outpouring of pain and disappointments in life. And it's okay to bear that in front of God. He has big shoulders. He is okay with your hurts and your disappointments and your losses and your grief. And he will nurture you and hold you through these times. So don't be afraid of I'll say, shaking your fist at him and saying, why me, God, why me? I mean, when his response is, why not you? Don't be surprised, because why not you? Because when he's doing this process with you, when he is healing you from all of your pain and your disappointments and your losses, there is such beauty in it, such joy in the other side of this and what he has planned for you. Because during this process of preparation, as we're talking about, that's what allows you to step into your next phase. It allows you to step into your destiny, because there's only one person on this planet who can do what you are designed to do in your unique way. And there are generations behind you who are watching to see if you get up and if you move towards your destiny and your future and your purpose, because that gives them the hope that breaks generational curses. It breaks generational secrets even that are preventing those behind you and to step into their future. So it's time to get up. It's time to take hold of the promises that God has for you, that he's given you. And it's time to step into your glory, into your purpose, all for his glory. And it's not about us. It's never, ever about us, as Karan and I were just talking about before the show started. It's never, ever about us. Our stories and our experiences, it's someone else's freedom. So when we tell our story, it gives someone else permission to tell and release theirs without judgment, but just in love. And it liberates them and it empowers them to step into their purpose as well.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Yeah, she rocked it. Look at that. She's confident. And so remember, Angela is also a coach. She's about transformation. I went on her website and I saw some very interesting things that you talked about that you have went through in life and that you have came through in life. And I was shocked because, you look at people and you don't always see what they're going through or what they've been through, because God has a way of covering us when we're going through something and hiding our pain and hiding our shame from others. You might think it's just written all over your forehead, all over you, and nobody even sees it because God covers us. Truly, he covers us. So, Angela, just like Esther was going through the process of preparation, you're going through a process of preparation. Could you share what it has been like? You can share whatever you want to share on your journey of preparation.
Yeah, sure. So it's really interesting being the featured author for the preparation chapter. And then, even though I had already been through certain amounts of preparation, I'm now in next level of preparation. I have been completely undone through this last couple of months. It's been a shedding process, a shedding of anything that has gotten in my way of really turning my eyes to God and giving my all to him. So there's a saying, don't judge a book by its cover. And I love that saying so much, because people look at me and they say, and I know this because people have told me, they're like, oh, you've got it all together. Life looks great. You've got all these books. You've got your coaching business. You present yourself well. And yeah, I can present myself well. But there's stuff in my life where dignity is being restored for me. So I am an ex-sex worker. I have endured depression and suicidal attempts. I've endured domestic violence and substance abuse. And now I'm going through this process of, like I said, this stripping away, the restoration of my dignity, the stripping away of anything that is not of God. And that is confronting, to have stuff revealed in you from the depths of your heart that God goes, yeah, I don't want this in your heart anymore. I'm going to reveal this to you and we're going to remove it. And the beauty of God removing stuff is he replaces it with something else. And yesterday, for example, I had a bit of a rough morning. tears everywhere, tears, not the whole thing. It's all cool. But then I was in my garage and I had this outburst of laughter that came from the pit of my belly. It was like that contagious baby, the child laughter that, the baby just laughs so much and then everyone else is laughing because that is just such a contagious laughter. And I just had this joy and this laughter that I hadn't experienced for so long. And I didn't even care that I was by myself. There wasn't a joke. There was nothing. It was just this powerful healing laughter. And so even though I've had the tears in the morning, the salt water tears, because salt water is so healing, the tears that were just like pouring endlessly down my face. And then mid-morning, I'm in the garage laughing from the pit of my belly. And I just went, God, through this time where there's so much pain, you're restoring with joy and love. And I'm learning patience because I want this stage over with. I'm ready. Come on, that's enough. How long is this going to last? But it's in the waiting, it's in the patience, it's in the stillness that we get to learn God more, that we get to feel his presence more. We get to be restored. Whatever has been taken from you, he will restore. He will give that back to you. That is his promise. And so much more, 100-fold. I don't know what the Bible says. I don't know the number, but so it was just very interesting that I was the feature author for the preparation. And then, oh my gosh, the biggest preparation of my life so far came after this. So it's extremely humbling, and I had to do something that devastated me. It was such a hard challenge, and I had the most beautiful car that I had dreamed of for a really long time, and I had to sell my car to fund a few things for my business. And it was so hard, but because I loved that car so much. But I just heard God say to me, it's just a car. It's a piece of metal. And anything that you are prepared to cut off or sell or get rid of, allow to be taken from your life, it, like I just said, it will be restored. But we're so much more than the car that we drive or the red bottom shoes that we wear or the sparkly clothes that we wear. We're so much more than that, because this is just external. What's internal is what God looks at. He looks at our heart, and out of the mouth, the heart speaks. So what is the most important thing is what's in your heart. And that's what God cares about.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep. I heard you said that you used to be a sex worker, that you dealt with domestic violence. But to look at you, it looked like you was just born into class and never even dropped below being a classy woman, But you always been who you are. It's always been there, but now it's came out. God works on the inside out. Usually we try to make the outside better, but God makes knows that until the inside is better, we won't be our best. So I thank God that God has brought you out of it. And I understand you shared some of your pain with me that you was going through, but I still see you as a strong woman. I really do. I see you as somebody that's going to triumph out of the situation that you're dealing with, that you already have the victory. You're not waiting for the victory. You already have the victory. So I just want to encourage you as God take you through this squeezing and this pressing, that you're going to come out better than a diamond. You're going to come out like a ruby. A ruby is rare. Its purpose is rare, and it cannot be easily duplicated. They can make fake diamonds real good, but rubies are hard to imitate, believe it or not. But they can actually, I had read, like when it comes to pearls, they can actually force an oyster to make a pearl. They can actually force coal to make a diamond, but with rubies they can't force it. They have to find a ruby. And I said that's why God compares us to a ruby, because you think about it, everything was made out of dust but us in the
Yeah.
beginning. So I say this all the time, we cannot get dusty, y'all, because God brought us in this world at a level above every other creation that he has created. He brought us up out of something, up out of man, out of flesh, where man himself came out of dirt. So we have to be his most precious creation, and we were his last creation. I mean, we got the rights to brag, but we don't, because we understand that we're under grace. So this Friday is the book launch party for Queen Esther's Royal Code with Dr. Renee Huffman. How excited are you?
I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. And I mean, it'll be midnight for me, the time of the launch. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I don't do night. I'm in bed at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at the latest.
What? No.
Yeah, I'm an early riser. I'm up at 5-ish, and but I go to bed early. So I'm like, okay, I need to have a nana nap, and then I'll be able to do. I'll be up at midnight. I can do this. I'm so excited. And we haven't had a chance and an opportunity to read each other's chapters. So it's always an honor to get to read the other, because we get to know each other, we learn each other in our group messages, and get to experience all these brand new connections. But we finally get to read each other's chapters when we can buy this book. So, or download the book, whatever you call it. So yeah, I'm so excited. And it has just been an incredible honor to work with Dr. Renee Huffman. What a phenomenal woman she is.
Yes, yes, she is.
Uh,
So I
she's
will say this. I know sometimes working with people with books, you want somebody that's timely. Time is important to me. I'm over 50 now, so I need every second, every minute that I have in life. So being on time, being about your business is very important to me. And for me, dealing with Dr. Renee, I found that she is a woman of business. And like she said, she's a woman of dignity and standards. So you might not know this, but guess who's going to be your guest host? Me. So I will be on the lunch party with y'all. So I am doubly excited because to me, I'm a part of history, a part of Esther's story being retold in a way that has not been told before. She's been like a buried treasure in the Bible. We read it and be like, "Who that woman was courageous," and we just keep going. But we don't stop and dig as deep as Dr. Renee had y'all dig as deep, and how she dissects strategy. Well, she had strategy, success, leadership, and preparation. I think she might have had one more, but she pulled that just out of that story, a story that everybody reads, and you don't never hear anybody really talk about Queen Esther. We might talk about the virtuous woman. We might talk about Ruth because we all want Boaz like Ruth. We want to find a man like Ruth do. But what do we want from Esther? What do we really want from Esther? Do we want to get in a place where we're royalty and then we have to sacrifice it for God's purpose? Can we be, because it would be all about us. Lord, look, I'm in this castle. I don't have time for this. Can't you, where's Vashti at? Can you go find her and let her do this thing? Let her redeem herself. And us, I've been living right. She wasn't, so let her go be sacrificed. So, but thank God that Esther was not like that. But I am so excited. So excited. So tell us about the lunch a little bit. What do you expect during the lunch?
What do I expect? Oh, I don't even know what to expect. It's just going to be amazing. So I know that the 4 feature authors will have, I think, a minute or two to have a talk about their chapter. So that's really cool. And everyone gets to tell a little bit about their chapter, I think. But I just love community and just being able to celebrate each other and support each other with the launch of this book. And then everyone who is there supporting us will help us make bestseller and international bestseller, I'm sure.
Yes.
This
And
book is going to be
it's
phenomenal.
funny you say that. I was hanging with one of the co-authors, Lisa Yvette Jones, this weekend.
I know.
Yes, yes. And when I checked the comments, Lisa was watching. We also had Debbie. Debbie's been a faithful watcher. We have Katrina out there. She's been watching. And I'm trying to think who else. It was one more person I believe that was out there watching us. And if I forgot your name, please forgive me. Let me see. I'm looking right now. No, it was Katrina and Lisa that commented out there. So hey everybody. So I'm
Um,
excited. How can we see it? Do you know how we want to be able to support you?
oh my gosh, I knew you were going to ask that question.
Mm, it's okay. If you don't know, I
Yeah,
will definitely share it on Friday also.
I know, Dr. Renee Huffman has put it out. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm
It's okay.
not great with Facebook. It is on there. I know it's all over Facebook, and the link
Okay.
will be. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's going live on Facebook actually.
Mm. Yeah.
8:30 or 9:30. I get the times mixed. Oh no, that's out. That's us. 8:30, 9:30. 9 a.m.
Uh-huh.
CST time, I think it is.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm hopeless with that.
That's okay. We're gonna have you together on
Yes.
Friday. So
Midnight AEST time zone. Just look at that and then that will sort you out.
okay. So Miss Angela, I have enjoyed talking to you tonight. There was a peace within the show tonight. You brought a spirit of peace, and you brought a spirit of teaching us that we have to be prepared, and we understand that the journey to preparation is not always easy. There's some squeezing, twisting, stomping. It's just like being in a fight. It's like being in a fight, but when you come out, you're a
Yeah.
wonderful butterfly. And that's what you are about, transformation. I call it the butterfly transformation, where you come out of the cocoon of average and you become the butterfly of amazing, the butterfly transformation. And you, as a coach, that's what you help people to do, to transform. But the only reason you're good at it because you've had to transform. You've had to transform what you used to do to who you are now. And what you used to do was never you, it was something that you were doing. You might identify with it at the time, but now that you identify with Christ, we know all things are brand new and they are passed away. And so, even when you were going through those things, your value, your worth was still the same. It hasn't changed whatsoever. And so, I want you to close out tonight. Give us a 2-minute talk, and then I'll come out and officially pull the curtains closed. So, go ahead, Miss Angela.
Yeah, sure. The line that comes to mind actually after what you just said, Karen, is your past does not define you. It refines you. Knowing who you are in Christ, knowing that you are salt and light, you are unique, you are peculiar, you are highly favored, you are royal. He sings over you. You are a praise to him. Knowing this, and even repeating this to yourself on a daily basis. My mentor, Dr. Pamela Henkel, she went through Ephesians 1 with me, and the things that God speaks over us as to who he sees us as, it's paramount that we remember and speak that out daily, even hourly if you need to. If you're going through something and you need that affirmation and that reminder of who he says you are, it's so important, because the enemy is a liar. There is no truth in him. So if he can't warp your idea and your belief in God, he will warp and taint and lie to you about your belief in yourself and who you think you are. Our mind is a battlefield. So repeating daily of who you are, who God says you are, and not listening to the lies that get thrown at us constantly is paramount. It is so important. And for you to live a prosperous, effective life that impacts this world with the ripple effect that goes beyond something that you will ever know and ever see, to be able to walk in the purpose that God has for you, you need to know with confidence and in his confidence and assurance who he says you are. That is so important. And you are worth more than rubies, as Karen has mentioned. Such a beautiful comparison of what God compares us to and who he says we are.
Thank you. Thank you. So tonight, everyone, Angela has come to remind us that preparation is part of our journey in life. Preparation never stops for us because God is always perfecting his work within us. We're not perfect, but we're being perfected each and every day. And as Angela shared some of her heartfelt secrets that, like she said, yesterday in the morning she was crying, but that joy also came in the morning, where God gives you a spirit of joy that rises from the inside of you. There's something about the God we serve that is so unique. He knows how to give us exactly what we need. Like Queen Esther, she needed courage at that moment to go before the king to make her petition. She needed wisdom to know how to approach him. And God gave her everything she needed and made what her mission to be successful. So I just want you to know that if you need to connect with someone that'll help you come out of that cocoon and transform into that butterfly, no longer average, but being the greatest you that you can possibly be. Angela is the person that you will want to connect with. So if you look up in the posting section of this post, you will also see her link tree information. Click that link and everything will explode for you. Her website, just everything. There's nothing hidden that you won't find in that one link. So I want to thank Angela for tonight. I want to thank her for being one of the co-authors of Queen Esther's Royal Code. We have talked about this. We have pumped it up. And trust me, we are anticipating that book release. It's going to be a #1 bestseller because Queen Esther's story is going to be told like differently than it's ever been told before. It's like the truth of Queen Esther. It's like the heart of Queen Esther. So I just want to thank you for being a guest tonight. I want to thank you for everybody who faithfully every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that comes and watches the Ruby Girl show. You just don't know how I appreciate you. And so I'm appreciate you. Go to rubygirl.net. I have a sale on our bling t-shirt and I have knocked a few dollars off of the Ruby Girl bag. So go on out there, order your Ruby Girl t-shirt bling. You might have this one. Get the bling, shine, 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 and or else get your Ruby Girl shirt of the month. It's in pink and burgundy, y'all. It is beautiful. So, all right, Miss Angela, thank you so much for being a guest. I really appreciate you. And I guess I will see you Friday.
I shall see you Friday, honey.
Yes.
Woo!
So everybody have a great and wonderful night. I'll be back next Tuesday with another amazing guest. All right, everybody have a great and wonderful night. Thank you so much and love you, Miss Angela.
Thank you, beautiful. Love you too.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.